Joining me today is Dan Park, the tech evangelist here at Zebra Technologies, and we're looking at this concept of towards 2020. Now, Dan, 2020, it's not that far off. The first thing that comes to my mind when we mention 2020 is Android. Why should organisations be looking at moving to Android now?
Windows CE and Windows Mobile have been the popular OS of choice to date, and that's going end of life. It's already gone end of mainstream support, and it's actually going end of extended support very soon. So companies need to change to Android because they won't have any other option. There'll be no support on the current OSs.
So when we look at things such as security, updating of operating systems, that's a major concern then for Windows users moving forward beyond 2020.
Yes, correct. And Android really handles that well as well. So it's not just using Android because there's no other choice. Android is the best choice at the moment. It's designed for enterprises. It comes with all the security patches. Zebra releases security updates every 30 days. And new OS flavors come out, generally about once a year. So you're keeping up with a modern operating system.
We know that Google's heavily invested in Android and building it for the enterprise, so it definitely makes sense for organisations to move forward with Android. What other benefits does moving to an Android operating system provide mobile computing users?
Yeah. So it really is an OS that everyone's familiar with. It's a consumer-focused OS, at least it was initially. Android have, as you said, have added enterprise functionality to make enterprise Android the best choice for businesses. So you get all the benefits of a consumer-focused operating system. It's multi-functional, so you can have multiple apps running at the same time, communication tools, productivity tools. It just opens up a whole world of functionality that was previously unavailable on Windows devices.
So definitely it sounds like Android is the only choice moving forward in mobile computing.
Yeah, it really is the only choice, and they really need to start moving now. The clock is ticking. Transitioning to a new operating system does take some time. The current OSs are Windows, as I said, it's going end of life, so they really start after thinking about moving now.
And how is Zebra placed when it comes to Android devices?
Zebra is really the market leader with Android. They got in really early, developing on Android and really adding functionality to make it enterprise focused.
For those organisations looking to move to Android, what should their first steps be?
Right, so they need an application that's going to run on Android. So either an application will need to be rewritten, or if they're using a telnet session, that becomes a very easy transition. We have partners like Ivanti with tools that can run telnet in exactly the same way as Windows Mobile did. So if you have a key-based Android device, you can run the same app, or they can even improve the look and feel by having full touch GUI interface, which basically sits on top of the telnet session.
Well, it sounds like that Android is the future, and now is the time for organisations to consider migrating over to Android. Now, the second point that I want to raise with you, Dan, about towards 2020 is the word disruption. It gets used a lot in commerce nowadays, and almost as businesses try to find their own competitive advantage, disruption is the model. And we know that with the rise of online commerce, that there's going to be a greater need on the supply chain and on the warehouses to adapt the way that they operate. So for example, same-day delivery is a goal for a lot of organisations. What role is technology playing in disruption?
Technology is really key to take advantage of this new on-demand economy. So as you said, people are asking for same-day delivery. As time progresses, they're going to not be satisfied with that. They're going to want 2-hour delivery. Without technology, companies cannot provide that. We need technology that gives visibility of their assets, where their assets are, where their products are, and how quickly they can ship them. So, technology is key, and really that's where Zebra play. We have technologies that sit at the edge of the enterprise. So where all the work is done. So where someone picks up a parcel and delivers it to a customer, that's the interaction. That's where Zebra really excels.
There are a lot of different industries that are utilising mobile computing. How are many of them placed in regards to the migration to Android?
So we've seen retail migrate quite early on, so especially in Australia and New Zealand. Most of our big customers have migrated to Android, so that shift has already occurred. Some of the smaller retail stores are following suit. Other industries like transport and logistics, they've also begun to follow suit and move to Android in a big way. So, this is not something that's hypothetical. This is actually happening. Warehousing is a little bit slower, probably because they They're not customer focusing, so they don't care what the device looks like. They set and forget. They don't try and keep it up to date. So warehouse is lagging behind the other industries. So that's probably the biggest risk and the biggest opportunity, because they have to go to Android because Windows Mobile is going end of life. They're running out of time, and they will see benefits that can help with the on-demand economy and e-commerce. That's going to help them in the future.
How do you summarise towards 2020?
Well, as I said, the change is happening whether you like it or not. So you can either take advantage of these changes and keep a competitive edge, or you'll be consumed by it.
Well, as you can tell, towards 2020 is a critical goal for organisations. If you want to find out more, the team at Zebra and Zebra Partners can really assist you. So take a closer look at zebra.com.